The FBM KLCI closed up 0.48% at 1,410.16 today, as trading volume across Bursa Malaysia rose to another record high in less than a week. Heavy trading was seen in oil and gas-related counters, led by Icon Offshore, Valesto Energy and Bumi Armada, buoyed by the rebound in crude oil prices. Investor sentiment was also improved as more economies around the world began lifting lockdown restrictions. At 5 p.m, Bursa saw 11.21 billion securities worth 4.41 billion ringgit exchanging hands, with 663 gainers versus 33 losers. 348 counters remained unchanged. Trading volume hit a previous high last Wednesday at 9.59 billion units, as the spectre of a COVID-19 resurgence dictated world stock market sentiment. Prior to Wednesday, Bursa's all-time high trading volume was on August 20th, 2014, when the exchange saw 7.67 billion units transacted. Green packet shares continued the upward streak today, hitting the daily upper limit threshold of RM1.57 before falling to RM1.44 for a total market cap of RM1.34 billion. Green packet has been staging a strong rebound after dropping to a low of 42 sen on March 23rd. The counter is currently up by some 108% year to date. The most recent buying frenzy was sparked by a report that Green Packet is getting ready for digital banking by way of its venture with China's internet giant Tencent as its local partner for an eKYC product for businesses, particularly lenders and financial institutions. Tencent owns WeBank, one of the top digital banks in China, which has had much success by largely deploying eKYC solutions. Last week, Green Packet introduced its Keeper Live application, which integrates, among others, AI facial recognition, FR thermal scanner, and visitor management system for businesses. It also teamed up with the Coalition of Malay Small Traders Association for an e-bazaar program, leveraging the Keeper Pay e-wallet. Work on the ECRL's 210.4km Kota Baru-Dungun stretch is set to commence soon after Putrajaya gave its final approval. Malaysia Rail Link, the project and asset owner of ECRL, says the green light covers the final alignment route, locations of passenger and freight stations, and the number of lots involved in the land acquisition process. In addition, a 14.4km future spur line is expected to link the ECRL main line in Kelantan with the port of Tok Bali. MRL says the project will now have 6 stations along this stretch, consisting of Kota Baru and Pasir Putih in Kelantan, and Jerteh, Bandar Permaisuri, Kuala Terengganu and Dungun in neighbouring Terengganu. The project's overall completion rate currently stands at 16%, with main contractor China Communications Construction (ECRL) having received approval to resume work in mid-April. It is scheduled for completion by December 2026. The King reminded lawmakers today to engage in mature politics in a time of global crisis as the country battles to contain the spread of COVID-19. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah said in his royal address at the opening of Parliament sitting this morning that MPs should not drag the country once again into political turmoil after the fall of the Pakatan Harapan government. He revealed that when then PM Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad offered to resign on February 24th, he had advised the two-time Premier to reconsider. However, Mahathir was firm with his decision, which meant the King had to appoint a new PM. Ultimately, after going through the processes, the King said it was Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin who commanded the confidence of the majority of lawmakers. MPs were initially together at Parliament today for a sitting that could have involved a motion of no confidence being tabled by Mahathir against Muhyiddin. However, the vote was put off and the royal address is the only item on the agenda for today. Parliament will reconvene on July 13th. At the Perdana Leadership Centre in Petaling Jaya, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad told the press after today's Parliament session that it is his right to push for a motion for a vote of no confidence against Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, regardless of whether he succeeds in voting the incumbent Premier out or not. According to Mahathir, the current government under Muhyiddin's leadership has not properly addressed the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly in terms of the disbursement of financial assistance to businesses. He said this is on top of the other promises not being honoured by the Prime Minister, which includes the apparent changing of his stance on Datuk Sri Najib Razak. Asked if he is confident that he has the majority of votes for his motion, Mahathir said that it does not matter. He points out that the current PN government has a very narrow majority, and in exposing Putrajaya's wrongdoings, the former PM hopes that good sense will prevail and that MPs will back a motion for the good of the nation.